Brandon told me I should start with going something like, "It's Saturday." I was thinking more like Saturday. Um, it's Saturday when I'm recording this, April 25th at 8 p.m. Thanks for watching the replay. It's probably not Saturday when you're catching the replay. Um, but maybe in the spirit of Saturday, you could do that little chant with me from that song. I don't even know who did that song. Um, yeah, today we're going to talk about a pretty simple question. What could real estate investors be doing right now to manage their money during crisis? It's going to be particularly for people who are already investing in real estate, have already been active in it, whether they're buying places to flip and sell, buying them to rent to other people, or maybe they're just the lender and they let other people do all the work. I've got an idea for you today. Before we get there, we got to look at the quote of the day. I found this one. I'd be curious if you think this is true. 90% of all millionaires become so through owning real estate. Andrew Carnegie. Comment and let me know. Do you think that's true? Do you think that's false? You could just say true or false. And if you want to say more, you totally can. I don't know about this become so through. If I'm going to get technical and analytical about that, like I'm known to do, I don't know that that's necessarily that real estate might be the only thing, right, that they're thinking. Mohammed, thanks so much for being here, listening. Hope you get something out of this. I'd love to hear. Do you think this quote is true? 90% of all millionaires become so through owning real estate. I want to share my assumptions coming into this because I think you have to kind of agree with me on a couple of things in order for what I'm going to share at the end to be like, oh yeah, I think that's true. So first of all, the real estate market is just like the stock market. It's impossible to time. You don't really know when it's coming up. You don't really know when it's going down, or you might kind of know, but you don't know when it hits its peak or it hits its valley. And if you're trying to time the real estate market like you would try to time the stock market, you're bound to buy at some point along one of the slopes, but probably not at the peak or at the very bottom of the valley. So be cautious when trying to time the market. And then secondly, the thing that I like a lot about real estate that's very different than the stock market is that real estate is local. And even when you know what's happening on average with the average real estate market, like across the US or across the world, you don't really know what's going on in your local community unless you like get into where you're going to invest in real estate. You get to know what the market is like there, what's considered high, what's considered low, what is a neighborhood like, all those kind of things. And that's actually a really unique opportunity and a really unique advantage that real estate investors have because you can get some of that knowledge. You can work with a really good realtor or watch the statistics and get even better knowledge than someone can get about stocks, right? And companies. And you might buy a stock and then all of a sudden the company announces something that nobody saw coming, right? Or even if you're an index fund, there could be something coming that nobody saw coming, right? That impacts a lot of stocks within that index fund. Whereas real estate, it seems to be a lot more stable, right? And you can watch the trends of a particular neighborhood and see what's going on there. And sure, there could be a dip in home values, like we saw 2007, 2008, 2009. But even then, there were some neighborhoods that were staying pretty steady compared to other neighborhoods. So you have to get into that local market and know what's going on there. And that's actually one of the things I like most about real estate because I'm a local gal. I love that local grassroots kind of level. Let me hide this quote and go back to what we're talking about today. What could real estate investors be doing? So if you agree on those two things, right, you can't really time the market and you've got to know your local market super well, or whatever market, because not everybody invests within their local market, then it kind of follows from there. What could you be doing during this time? And there's a few things you could do, like gaining knowledge, learning new things, getting to know a new market, uh, or getting to know your current market really in a more deeper way. But also, you could be preparing money for your next deal. I think that's actually one of the most important things to be doing right now, in my humble opinion, to stock away some cash and be ready for when there's a really good deal. And that really good deal could be a week away, it could be a couple months away, it could be a couple years away. But that's what you want to be looking for as a real estate investor, and make sure you've got the cash ready and available to make that deal when it comes. To kind of share with you why I think that, I've been saving up for quite some time to invest in my first property, and it's actually a property that I'm planning to live in, at least temporarily. Maybe long term, we'll see. But I was thinking of it when I made that purchase of, would this be rentable later on if I did need to move somewhere else for whatever reason. And so I was trying to think of it like an investor who's buying in order to rent and create that passive income. And the timing wise, we knew we could be buying at the height of the market. We just bought literally like 5 or 6 weeks ago, not, this year, just as COVID-19 was kind of hitting the United States. And the thing that we were saying to ourselves as we went hunting for the house that we would purchase is, we need to make sure we're getting a good deal. And if we're getting a good deal, then even if a crash happens in the real estate market, even if property values tumble like they tumbled in 2008, and thereabouts, we'll still feel confident in the choice that we made. And we still know that we could either continue living there, or we could find renters and make sure we could make enough rent to make it worth it if if something changes and we need to move forward. So we made sure we were getting a good deal that way. And then we made sure we didn't use all of our money, right? We kept some contingency funds aside. We actually got approved for, this much of a mortgage, and we took this much of a mortgage, right? That was what we thought was being smart and savvy, just in case the property value went down, even just temporarily. We knew we had our deposit in there. We were safe. There wasn't going to be anybody saying, well, you need to pay us X number of dollars or anything like that, in order to keep your home. And so that's really what I think real estate investors could be doing right now, learning and setting aside cash. So because there are going to be some good opportunities within your local market. I don't know if they're going to be soon or later or somewhere in between, but there will be good deals. And you want to have the cash strapped away to make good on those deals. And if you do want to, Mohammed, thanks for your question. So this first property we're living in right now, but we bought it so that we could rent it if we needed to or wanted to in the future. We made sure that it would be a good rental property as well. But we are living here. Thanks for the clarification there. Glad you're watching. And hi, Lavender Cloud. Nice to see you too. Okay, and Mohammed, Lavender Cloud, you guys should follow each other or something. Anyway, if actually Lavender Cloud, I'm glad you're here because you know this super well. When we're thinking about real estate investing, a great way to learn how that happens is the cash flow game, right? Robert Kiyosaki, that whole game. And there are bad things that happen in that game, and you learn when bad things happen that you better have the cash set aside so that you can get through that bad thing that happens. Yep, you know that really well. And so that's kind of, if you want to be able to make deals, buy real estate, buy companies, things like that in that game, you've got to stock up some cash. You can't like pay down debt too quickly, things like that. That's exactly the kind of game that you play during coronavirus. If you're a real estate investor or you're thinking about purchasing a business, you stock up some cash even while there's some bad things going on so that you are able and ready to take advantage of deals. So maybe playing that game is a really good way to prepare for what could be coming in the next months to years, depending on like how all the dominoes fall or if we have a quick return or what happens. So that's what I wanted to share today. I wanted to keep it pretty quick, thinking about learning. Maybe play the cash flow game. If you've never played that before, get a copy of it. And that's a great way to learn about real estate investing and what that looks like. And of course, you can learn from other real estate investors. You can learn more from your realtors and the people in your market that you're thinking about investing in or investing further into. And then have cash available, whether you're going to flip or whether you're going to purchase to rent or whether you're just going to be the money and let somebody else do the work, and you do like a hard money loan or something like that. The more cash you have, the more options you have. And so as much as you can, keep socking that away would be my big encouragement. So that's it for today. As a reminder, we want to hear from you. What's your number one question about financial freedom? I put this link in the description of the video. You can find it there or type it in bit.ly and then make sure you capitalize /GWW1Q. Capitalize all the letters in that one, GWW, the number one, and Q. Let us know what's your number one question about financial freedom. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our page, hit the bell to make sure you get notifications. And yes, great. Play the game. Thanks, Lavender Cloud. That's awesome. And then tomorrow, Sunday, I'm going to take on a topic that a bunch of people are talking about on YouTube right now. Is the FIRE movement dead? Has basically COVID-19 put the FIRE movement into the ICU? Because of what's happened on the economic side of things. That's the question I'm going to try to tackle tomorrow. Probably a little longer, but for now, go enjoy your Saturday night, do something fun, maybe play a cash flow game or list out your dream property, what that would look like if that's fun for you. Make it happen and have fun doing it. And I'll talk to you tomorrow night, same time, same place. Peace.